All right, we are back. The baseball playoff segment went on long. I'm not mad about it. I love baseball. It's literally my favorite sport of all time. You'll get new complaints from me. Anyway, NFL. What the heck is going on? So this past weekend we saw some stunning. First of all, real quick side note. How crazy if you didn't see it. The UVA versus Florida State game. That was insane. That really was. That was a sick game to watch. Couple of good guys. That game was good. I saw the Penn State and Oregon game. That was but the UVA Florida State game. As someone who lived in that area, I can tell you it was probably exciting. Me and my wife watched a lot of it. I wanted Florida State. Happy birthday, Jeff Matthews, by the way. It was his birthday. Great win for him. I texted him during the game because I know he was happy. Big UVA fan. Little bit of me wanted to see them lose because all them students was like excited to rush the field. And they were this close to like having to like just sit there with their jaws hitting the floor. But good for them. Big victory for them. My first ever football game was UVA versus Virginia Tech. My Uncle Timmy took me. And I was like, "Ooh, I like UVA. Everybody's wearing blazers. That's kind of my thing." And he was like, "Nah, they're the highbrow people." And all the tech people had on like camo, and it was like my first year out of New York, and they all had camo and hunting clothes on. I was like, "What the heck is going on here?" And yeah, they were. We actually sat in Virginia Tech side, and it was more fun and exciting. So the Ravens, their defense is trash. And now they have quarterback troubles. So here's the kicker. This is why this tends to happen a lot with running quarterbacks. But the Ravens went away from their core principle. Their core principle is defense, defense, defense. And they finally had an opportunity to merge both worlds. They finally got an offense in Lamar Jackson and then Derrick Henry. And they were supposed to bring in that legendary Ravens defense. The championships that they won you can't name the quarterbacks, Joe Flacco and Trent Dilfer. Nobody cares though. It was the defense. It was Ray Lewis. It was Ed Reed and those guys out there knocking heads off. The sweater is getting hot. Knocking heads off and beating people down. And now the defense is lost. So, what should the Ravens do? I think it may be time. Is it time to look for a new head coach? Somebody brought up a stat the other day that Harbaugh and Mike Tomlin are just about. Tomlin has a better playoff winning percentage, just barely, over Harbaugh. Where there's always conversation about Tomlin getting fired, but maybe Harbaugh, we should start looking in that direction and see if it's time to replace him because the Ravens have gotten worse defensively each year. And their offense now, there's more pressure on an offense on a mobile quarterback. When you put that much pressure on a quarterback that has to run and carry so much, they tend to wear down and fall apart. Like you see, he's got hamstring problems. He's a young man. He's not even 30 yet. So we're going to see if they're going to make adjustments, make some changes on the fly the best they can. Or is this one of them seasons where now we start to question what's going to happen? So we'll see how that plays out. Tom Brady popped up in the news last week because he does the play-by-play for ESPN. And he also is part owner of the Las Vegas Raiders. So there's some conversation that, it wouldn't be a problem except when he's sitting in the coach's box with a headset on. And what does he have privy to before every game? He gets to go talk to the team of the game he's calling and find out about plays. He gets to find out about formations and a bunch of stuff. And the question is that fair? Is that an unfair advantage? Should Tom Brady be allowed to do this? Tom Brady has allowed himself to become the godfather of the NFL. And I don't mean the godfather where people look up to him. I mean Michael Corleone, not Vito Corleone. Tom Brady does what he wants when he wants. He did it as a player. Do we have to forget the Flakegate? Do we have to forget when they, built Belichick was stealing plays with cameras and stuff like that. It is no secret Tom Brady wants to win by every cost. And don't think for 1 second the Raiders are having a bad year this year because he's doing his scouting and then he'll release info, whatever. Should the NFL allow this? No. Honestly, no. I know Fox wants him. I've listened to some of his games. It's not that profound. He doesn't make me watch the game anymore. And the notion that because Tom Brady's calling the football game is going to make me want to listen. If Tom Brady was doing the kickoff show, that would make more sense. But just because he's like, I don't really care. Like, the days of the play-by-play guy being what I watch, like, Tony Romo's okay, but he's kind of annoying. Like, Troy Aikman gets it. Chris Collins gets it. Herb Street gets it. You know what I mean? Like, there are plenty of guys who are better suited, more entertaining than Tom Brady. And I feel like the NFL should go to, like, you want to be an owner or you want to do the play-by-play? We know Fox gave you a contract, but, like, you can't do both, but because it isn't fair. You know what I mean? Like, it really isn't. And not to mention, what if the Raiders get a Tom Brady game? Can he call the game objectively? Like, nah. Now, if he wants to call exclusive Raider games on the Raiders network, then do so. But him calling games and being privy to information, calls and stuff like that, it's a conflict of interest. I don't like it. But Tom Brady, once again, gets away with whatever he wants. I was going to discuss should Jacksonville trade Travis Hunter. Maybe it's still too early, but, you know, there's starting to... I'm noticing on TikTok people are making comments. I'm going to just say this. If Jacksonville can't figure out... If Travis Hunter doesn't perform in Jacksonville, it's not because of Travis Hunter. All right? Trevor Lawrence is a Heisman Trophy winning championship quarterback in college. And he's been down there in Jacksonville wiltering away because that organization is too busy worrying about professional wrestling than putting together a product of winning. I'm going to leave it at that. If they can't make it work with Hunter, they should Kansas City or San Diego should trade for him. Harbaugh and San Diego will know what to do with this young man. Andy Reid will know what to do with this young man. Trust me. And I know. All right? And I'll just wrap this out. I know you guys are looking forward to me talking about Jackson Dart in time. All right? Let's see what he does next week against the Saints. In time. All right? Cool. All right. If you listen on DJ Chase Radio and you're watching on YouTube and Facebook, it's time for Downright News. But if you listen to the podcast, come back for the next segment. I'm doing a lot. I hate it. I want to stop doing it. No, I don't do it no more. We'll be back. Downright Sports. All right, everybody, it's time for Downright News. Let's get into it, shall we? NFL, Giants got bad news after a great win. Got bad news. They lost their wide receiver, Malik Neighbors. He's out with a torn ACL. The Giants may need to change the turf that they play on. Odell Beckham Jr. commented on that because the same thing happened to him. MLB news. When I wrote this down, it was only one. Now there's two. Two managers have been let go and fired. Rocco Baldelli, after 7 years, has been let go by the Minnesota Twins. Baldelli won 3 Central titles. And then the San Francisco Giants, after just 2 seasons, fired Bob Melvin. These teams are going to be moving on. Let's see what happens. They're probably just going to hire AI and some kind of nerd that's just going to tell them all the numbers say and all this stuff. NFL again. Brock Purdy's status is unknown, as his toe has given him a setback. Brock Purdy is trash. Moving on, more NFL news. The Browns make a splashy trade as they traded for Texans O-lineman Cam Robinson. The Texans receive a late 2027 pick. Something. All right, college football and scores. Upset alert! All right, UVA beat Florida State in overtime, 46-38. Great offensive game. The type of games I like. Just give me all the offense. Oregon beat Penn State, number 6 Oregon beat number 3 Penn State in the whiteout game, 30-24 in overtime. Number 13 Ole Miss win a statement win, beat number 4 LSU 24-19. Little HBCU anyone? Winston-Salem over Boise State, Fayetteville over Virginia State. Union rolls through Shaw 59-7. Let's go to the NFL and talk about some of your lead stats, guys, shall we? The man leading in all the passing is Dak Prescott at over 1,100 yards passing. Matt Stafford's right behind him. Daniel Jones is in the category in the top 5. How about that? In your rushing categories, Jonathan Taylor continues to lead all rushes by just 13 yards with 4. He's 13 more than the next person at 414 yards. James Cook for the Bills at 401. And in your top receivers is Puke for the Rams. I'm never going to try to say his name. Don't even worry about that. Let's go to baseball. The season's finally ended. And let's talk about who did what and where it happened and who it happened with. We're getting there. We're getting there. Make it happen. All right, here we go. Your lead home run guys for the 2025 season, if you know who it was. Dare I tell you what is happening? Sorry, hold on. Now, Kyle Raleigh led all hitters with 60 home runs, a record for Seattle, a record for catchers, and a record for switch hitters. Kyle Schwarber hit 56 home runs, most in Phillies history. Shohei Ohtani, 55 home runs. Aaron Judge, 53 home runs. Your lead hitter in batting average and the new batting champion, Aaron Judge, batted .333. Bo Bichard batted .311, and Jacob Wilson for the A's. A's got some low-key hitters on that team. Let's see how that goes. Let's go to pitching, shall we? Who led the league in wins? Well, Max Fried with 19 wins, with 19-5 on the season with an ERA at 2.86. No question, he's got to be the Cy Young. That is the news. Subscribe and like Downright Sports everywhere. You can find them and download the podcast anywhere you download your podcast and download the DJ Chase Radio app. We'll be back with more show. So I was trying to stop something. I've been recording this whole time. I had no idea. It's not a big deal. But I was like working on something, and I don't think it worked, but it is what it is. All right, let's wrap the show up, shall we? So, the WNBA season. I was checking to see if it was a game yesterday. And I'm not gonna go to the WNBA just yet. I gotta touch on this. And gosh, dog, I am hot. All right, you gotta take the sweater off because I got hot. I got really hot. Give me a second. That's why I like doing the show in the winter because it's cold and we got a strange like heat wave going on right now, which is crazy because it wasn't hot. It was warm this summer, but it wasn't hot. And now the summer's like, wait, we want We want to be part of the fall too. We like fall. So take that sweater off real quick, and now I just look like an old retired cop. So I'm gonna eventually give you some guys some like behind the scenes stuff on this show, if you care. All right, so this past week the Ryder Cup happened. I know nothing about how the Ryder Cup breaks down, or how the rules go, but Europe beat America. The big story was how unruly the crowds were, and if the Ryder Cup showed me anything, and I'm just speaking for me, but if the Ryder Cup is showing our where we are as a people in our country, well, it's not good. Golf is normally one of the few sports where etiquette and politeness is welcomed. And we saw Roy McIlroy, one of the most notable golfers in the world, major winner, won a major this year. He is respected. He carries the flag of the PGA. He turned around and told the guy to go F himself. Like, on camera, did not care. And, we have become sports in this weird way. Something's happened where sport, this masculine testosterone war cry for men in certain sports atmospheres has gone a little wild. Like you will go crazy and root for your team, and you will root against your team, which I guess happened at the Ryder Cup. But you didn't have that in golf, and there's this like real macho overtone. I'm trying to really tiptoe around what I'm trying to say, but it was disgusting to see our fans, like our American golf fans, just went straight ratchet. Like, expect that from a football game. Expect that at a UFC match, but it sounded like they were at a UFC match, and it seems like a lot of people want things to go to that very like. Because what it's starting to sound like is guys when they're at sporting events, it just sounds like we're just grunting everywhere. And then Donald Trump shows up and we're like, US! We just sound ridiculous and stupid. Almost said a different word. But, can we get some normalcy again? Can we all calm down? Seriously? Can we just slow down, calm down, breathe? And kind of remember, like, it's a sporting event. Tomorrow, it doesn't matter. It all changes. It's not the Olympics. Olympics, I'll give you your flag, your country, etc. But I'm really not trying to go down this rabbit hole. So that's why I'm changing the subject. And we're going to talk about the WNBA. Well, yesterday, the Phoenix Mercury finished off the favorite Lynx, the Minnesota Lynx, 3-1. The Lynx were down Nafisa Collier, who was clearly the runner-up for the MVP award behind Asia Wilson. I'm wondering, should she have played? They say she had an ankle injury, but it wasn't a fractured ankle. Should she have played? And I think she should have. This was, your season was on the line, and your team needed you. And one win would have tied this thing up and would have stretched it out. But instead now, now you go home. So bounce back, see what happens next year. But Phoenix only beat them 86-81. And that's the final score. The box score tells a different story because Phoenix in the fourth quarter beat them 31-13. But the Lynx they won the third quarter 30-17. So it's kind of a back and forth battle. The Lynx won the first quarter, they lost the second quarter, they won the third, and then the fourth quarter they lost. She probably would have made a difference. Whether she played, if she could play, I don't know if she could. I don't know if she could or she couldn't. But if she was able to play, I think she should have. If she could have gave him 10 points, that would have been something. She could have just maybe, just took some distraction and made them think that she was going to be a difference maker. That could have been the difference to have won it. But another big thing, the Fever, without Caitlin Clark, forced a Game 5 for the Fever. So the Fever and the Ace will play on Tuesday, and a winner goes to the championship and a loser goes home. I still believe the Ace are the team to beat. They have the best player in the world in Asia Wilson, but you're telling me this Mercury team without Tarazi, without Brittany Griner, has themselves in the championship for the first time, since those ladies was on the team. Um, Aisha Thomas is leading the way and getting busy and putting up numbers. So we're gonna see what's gonna happen. I really still think the Aces are the team to beat, but see how that plays out. All right, let's wrap this up because I actually do want to touch on something. Bad Bunny's doing a halftime show. How crazy is that? Not a Bad Bunny. I don't know. I know like 3 of his songs. I know what I know about Bad Bunny is from the WWE. I'm going to be honest. Mainly because a lot of his songs, I mean, I recognize he is a mega. Try this again. A mega star, not a superstar. A galaxy megastar. Like he is on the level apparent of like Michael Jackson, like fame. Guy can't go anywhere, and he's doing the halftime show, which I think, to the point is the NFL, because people brought up this. Who were the people pissed about this? There's people pissed about everything. Don't politicize everything. All right. Bad Bunny doing the halftime show. This is going to be one of the halftime shows that I have no interest in. I'll watch it, but it's only because I don't know Bad Bunny's catalog like that. Um, and I think if you're Jay-Z, this is a great pivot away from the last few halftime shows you did. Like Jay-Z has done a wonderful job in taking a halftime show since 2001 that was, dare I say, primarily white and sprinkling some hip hop on it, which has been awesome. Um, so I'm it's cool that he's pivoting. He's putting in Bad Bunny, who's a pop star, not star, a pop megastar, and giving him to the world and opening up everything. And if you're the NFL, you need him because you're going into the NFL is going overseas. They're done with this America crap. They're going overseas. If you look, I don't know when Jay-Z took over, but like the last few halftime shows, you had Shakira and Jennifer Lopez. Bad Bunny actually performed in that. The Weeknd, then Eminem and Dr. Dre, Kendrick Lamar, Mary J. Blige, Rihanna, Usher, and then last year Kendrick, obviously. So him doing this is going to be super cool. He's proud Puerto Rican. This is going to put Puerto Rico on the map in a lot of ways, and it's going to things like this happens. It's always good for people. It's always good for the world, and hopefully nobody brings their crap with them. You know what I mean? Super Bowl's in San Francisco this year. San Francisco's known as it was known as a very progressive city. So it's not in San Francisco. It's like outside San Francisco, but it's in San Francisco 49ers arena, but it's not quite in. You know what I mean? Anyway, congrats for Bad Bunny. I'll watch. I won't know any of the songs, but I will say when he's in the WWE, he is hella entertaining. Boy, oh boy. All right, so let's wrap it up, shall we? Next week, October 6th. 10 years. Yeah, 10 years. I'm going to hopefully find some time tonight. I want to try to upload some of the old shows. I think I did already upload like one of the original shows, but I want to upload some of the old shows from YouTube. The show, I'm going to give myself like 5 minutes, 2 minutes here. The show originally, so Downright Sports originally started in 2009. And not to go on and on, but the show was originally DJ Chase produced it. I had a co-host in John Condi, and me and John did, I think, 2 episodes together before John left the show, and then me and Chase, I think, went on. We did maybe 6 more shows before the show went away completely. Why the station that we were doing the show on, he had other ideas, and it was just a lot to. I did 1 episode, and then I took a break. We always did a music break. I would do 2 segments, and it was like a halftime, and we never came back from commercial. Never came back. That's how Downright Sports ended on that station. We never returned because this guy called a meeting in the middle of my show. Yeah, yeah, that was crazy. So in 2016, Chase was like, "Yo, what's going?" He kept asking me questions about sports, and where I lived in Virginia at the time, I did not have internet. Like I know, 2016, it just there was and probably still is no wireless internet available in the area. So I really couldn't do a show because there was no way for me to really do it until I got an iPad and I started recording the show. I started recording clips and sports clips, and then I brought back Downright Sports as a straight YouTube show. And I think it was a YouTube show until 2000, like a straight YouTube show until about 2019. I had a podcast in some variation of form by 2008, late 17, early 18. I would do something similar, but in 2019 is when the show went from being just a YouTube show to a podcast, and I completely phased out the YouTube version of it by 2020, and we went straight to the podcast. But yeah, on October 6th of 2016 is 2015, excuse me, I got my dates wrong. October 6th of 2015, Downright Sports launched, and since then, 1 to 2 viewers an episode, couple of thousand views here and stuff like that. The show just keeps going because I want it to keep going. But yeah, I'm gonna trying to psych myself up to do something. I don't know if it's gonna be any different than any other show, but it's cool. 10 years of doing this and 10 years of doing anything is enough to pat yourself on the back, and I'm excited. So I told Chase this, I think 2-3 months ago. I was like, it's been 10 years, and he was kind of like, "Whoa, really?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's been 10 years." So yeah, tune in next week. I'm gonna start blasting invites, and hopefully people tune in because I think it'll be exciting. And I'm gonna put on a fancy suit. It's gonna be the same suit, but it'll be fancier. All right, let's wrap it up. Download and listen to the show anywhere podcasts can be downloaded. Apple, Spotify, just to name a few, because those are the names we know. Download DJ Chase Radio app right now. Not listen to just me, but listen to everybody. And also like and comment on YouTube right now. Just subscribe. Do it, please. Go to TikTok, Instagram, Facebook/Downright Sports, and enjoy whatever pops up there. And we'll see you guys next week for the 10-year anniversary. As always, be safe, respectful. Hold it down for the clown. Deuces. I don't even know what that means, hold it down for the clown, but it was funny. I liked it.